Discussion, Wednesday, June 11th. Let's get to your Alabama weather headlines. It's a summer-like pattern. We all know this comes eventually, what it will offer is breaks from the rain, what we've seen here. And it's also going to offer up some of that summertime heat that becomes very common by the end of this month. We'll talk about those heat index factors and where our best rain chances are. I want to go straight to our upper air look because we got a lot going on here with respect to the forecast and what could potentially unfold. So, just looking at it from a synoptic perspective, from a region, this is later today at about 3 o'clock. We're starting to see a low develop. Now, understand, this time of year, our jet stream is by far and away off to the north. It's really not a factor in the forecast, but you'll get these shortwave troughs, and that's exactly what you're seeing here in the middle of the country, right there over northwestern Texas, just south of the Texas Panhandle. So, moving this forward to Thursday afternoon, here's what sets up. That low to the northwest, circulation around it will pull in tropical air, rich tropical moisture. So we'll start to see rain chances return on Thursday. I think our coverage becomes more widespread, though, on Friday and into the weekend. You see, we're pinched between these two features. You have a high, it's just off the Florida Peninsula, and then you've got this cutoff low that's just to the north and west. And being channeled in between the two is that rich tropical air. You have southwesterly flow in the upper levels, you have southerly flow in the lower levels, and that will just bring, some very tropical air to not just Alabama, but the southeast in general. As we head into the weekend, though, the presence of that low starts to fade just a little bit. This is Saturday. There's still going to be a good moisture stream coming in here, but that low, that trough fades, and now basically what we're looking at here by Sunday is we're in between two ridges. You get that ridge of high pressure just to the east of Florida, and then you have another ridge that's building out over the southwestern United States here. So not a ton of takeaways from the extended setup that we're going to have here, other than that high holds firmly in place. Both of those do. And I think given the landscape, when you have a southwesterly wind, when we are out ahead of a trough, we typically can have better rain coverage. So that'll be something to consider as we head into the weekend. So let's talk temperatures. Let's look at our high temperatures on Thursday. Today we'll be in the mid to upper 80s. Thursday, upper 80s to low 90s, especially in southern Alabama, southeastern Alabama, the Wiregrass. This is Friday high temperatures. We have upper 80s, low 90s in many spots. A lot of this will be conditional on when and where we see the rainfall, but we should easily get into the upper 80s in most locations. This, though, is the heat index potential on Friday, and the heat index is going to start to go up by Friday. Same reason, that moisture feed that's coming in here, and that could make it feel, as warm as 92, 94, 95, 96 degrees outside of rain areas. So, speaking of rain, what are our chances here of seeing it? Well, today, our coverage is very limited. If you're down in Dothan, Enterprise, Abbeville, Geneva, Slocum, even down near Defuniak Springs and Walton, Holmes counties, we could see a pop-up thunderstorm or two in the peak heating of the day. We'll have to watch for a little convective system that's going to form off to the west, mainly on Thursday. You can see the remnants of that Wednesday. This will be a more organized batch of rain, and it could get in here by late Thursday. This is Thursday morning. Again, not a whole lot going on from a convective standpoint. Thursday afternoon, we start to see more of those popcorn-type thunderstorms. Again, coverage still not great on Thursday, but there's that feature I referenced, and this has been showing up pretty frequently with models. So this is going to head in this general direction here, and it's going to be fizzling out because we'll lose daytime heating, but some of this could reach our western counties late on Thursday if it can hold together. Again, nothing threatening with this. It would just be a late evening rain chance, and then that leftover outflow could bring about rain on Friday. So, speaking of, let's go into Friday, the Alabama weekend. This is the European model. The European solution's been a little bit wetter, so we'll go with that one just to show what it could be. This is Friday afternoon, and what this is showing is rain totals over a 3-hour stretch. So this is not depicting exactly what the radar would look like, but it's pretty decent coverage. The heaviest rain will be depicted in those yellow areas, but basically this tells me the entire southeast has the potential for some scattered thunderstorms. They'll all be diurnally driven, meaning once we get past about 10 o'clock, rain ends. Probably doesn't pick back up until around 11 o'clock in the morning, 12 noon the following day. This is Saturday, about 3 o'clock. And again, coverage maximized. Saturday might end up being the wettest day because of the setup I showed you on the upper air maps. With that good stream of moisture and that low, that trough back to our north and west. That looks to me like the best setup for good coverage of rain. And then into Sunday we go. We will still have pretty much the same setup, but with that trough flattening out, with the low losing its presence, we might see a little lesser coverage by Sunday afternoon. So all things to watch, but again, it's a pretty typical summertime pattern. We got moisture coming in, we have daytime heating, and of course you get those pop-up thunderstorms that'll continue into next week as well. Look from the Weather Prediction Center at possible 7-day rain totals. This is pretty straightforward for the summertime. Convective thunderstorms are very tough, if not impossible to pinpoint as far as rain, but anywhere from 3/4 of an inch to almost 2 inches of rain in heavier spots. No organized heavy rain, no organized severe threat here in central Alabama. So let's talk beach weather here, because I've got, I've had several people ask about the beach, the forecast, and you pull up your weather app, right? And it's going to show you that there's thunderstorm icons each and every day. Sorry, I'm trying to get these locations back here on the map so we know exactly where we're going. Okay. So let's try this again. Beach forecast. A lot of people headed down there, and you'll pull up your app, and there's these icons and percentages. A lot of what the app's showing you, especially if it's pulled in from just your phone and not manually entered, is it's just an algorithm, and it cannot pinpoint sea breeze thunderstorms. It just can't. So here's what you can expect. Will we have rain on the map every day in the Florida Big Bend area? Yeah, we will. But if you've been to the beach, it's a localized climate. It's kind of its own little space. There's a good chance that, just inland along, the US 98 I-10 is where the focal point of the rain is. There will be rain along beaches at times. I don't think it'll rain all day. But if you're going down there, it is a bit of an unsettled pattern. I think each afternoon will offer rain chances, and it will not be raining everywhere all day. Some days it might be focused a little bit closer to, say, Panama City, Port St. Joe, that stretch of the Big Bend. Others, it might be a little closer to the Alabama Gulf Coast. The point is, we have rain chances each day, but not a washout each day. And that goes through Sunday. So if you're going to be down at the beaches this weekend, just be aware of that. There will be breaks in the rain, and you should be able to at least get in some decent beach hours. Just a good weekend to have your radar app with you. This is coming from the National Weather Service, the rip current risk. Over the next couple of days, not too bad. You have south to southwesterly winds coming in along the coast, and that typically does not yield a crazy rip current risk. Now, always check the flags before you get into the water, because those are subject to change on an hourly basis as lifeguards and other officials monitor water conditions. So again, your beach forecast each day is going to show or populate a thunderstorm icon. It will not rain all day, but there's a chance that you could be chased away from the beach with thunderstorms. So again, keep an eye on that radar, and be safe if there's thunderstorms around. Quick check on the tropics here. All quiet from the Caribbean all the way out into the Atlantic. Nothing doing here. Tropical season typically does not pick up in a big, more widespread way until much later in the year. Late July, August, peaking in September. So not uncommon at all to see this map like this, and it's not uncommon to see our outlook this time of year kind of all over the place. Potentially above average temperatures for much of Alabama. This is through the end of June, or almost the end of June. So that could feature ridging, and that could mean no organized rain chances or no organized systems that'll be moving through here. And that's kind of what I'm expecting here as we move forward. So that's Luke's Your Forecast discussion today. Drop any questions below. We'll have another update on Thursday. Hope you have a great afternoon.